Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to be solving question number 2II of Professor Chidume's real analysis textbook on chapter 1, that is exercise 1 of question number 2II. We have solved question number 1 and then question number 2I. Okay, so this is continuation. The link is on the description if you want to see that. So now, to solve this is very, very easy. We're going to be using two methods. And the first method here is that let us set this to be 0. We have that x minus 2 is equal to 0 to show that x is equal to 2. And then we have that this one, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to what? Minus 1. Now, since x is on a real line, let us draw our real line. This is our real line. We have that this is the negative side, minus 1. And then this is the positive side, 2. Now, if you look at this, you see that this is partitioned into 3. This side, and this side. Now, for this side, we have that it is on this side. We have that x is less than minus 1. That is for this side. Let me shift hand a little bit. Okay, that is this side. Now, in the middle here is that we are starting here, but we will not get to 2. Okay, we started from somewhere here. We did not get to 1. So from here, we're going to say that minus 1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 2. Then for this side, we're going to start. So this side is now that x is what? Greater than or equal to what? 2. Okay. So these are the three partition we have here. So which means the solution of this is going to have 3 cases. So let's see case number 1. In fact, before we have the case number 1 here, look at this. Let us go back to the definition of absolute value. Remember, I told you that the absolute value of x is going to be what? Is going to be itself if and only if x is positive. If x is positive, then the absolute value is going to be what? Itself. But it's going to be negative itself if and only if x is less than, in fact, greater than or equal to, is less than what? Is less than 0. So what do I mean by this? Let me repeat what I mean by this. What I mean is that absolute value will always be positive. How do I mean? Look at that. The absolute value of 5, this is positive. It must be 5 itself. Why? Because 5 is a positive number. That is greater than 0. If it is now 0, it's going to be 0 again itself. Why? Because it is equal to 0. But if it is, for example, minus 5, it's going to be negative of itself, which is still going to give us positive again. So that is how absolute value, we define absolute value. So now, for this particular one, let's define this one. So for this one now, the absolute value of x minus 2 is going to have 2 cases. It's going to be itself, which is x minus 2, if and only if x is what? Is greater than, this one coming to the other side is greater than 2. Because we are going to say that it's going to be what? It's going to be itself if x minus 2 is greater than 0. I hope you have that. So this one coming here. So x is greater than what? Is greater than what? 2. You get that now? But it's going to be negative of itself. It's going to be negative of itself if and only if x is less than 2. So look at that. It's going to be negative of itself if that x minus 2 is less than 0. So therefore x will be less than what? 2. Okay? So that is for this one. Now for this one, the absolute value of x plus 1 is going to be the same thing here. So it's going to be itself. It's going to be itself, which is x plus 1, if and only if x is what? Greater than, this one moving here, minus 1. So but it's going to be negative of itself. It's going to be negative of itself if and only if, it's going to be negative of itself if and only if x is what? Less than that minus 1. So having known this now, it will help us to solve our distance. So for case 1, for case 1 is this side, when we say that x is less than what? Minus 1. So if x is less than minus 1, we have that the absolute value of x minus 2 is greater than the absolute value of x plus 1. So now let us have this. To have this now, we will see that if x is less than minus 2, obviously, if x is less than minus 2, let us see what happened here. So it's going to be, therefore x should be less than 2. If x is less than minus 2, obviously x is less than 2. So in this case, this one is going to be negative of itself. negative of itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? If x is less than minus 2, that is x is around minus, is less than minus 1. That means x is around minus minus 5, minus 2. So if it is less than that, obviously it is less than 2. Anything that is less than minus is less than positive. So it is negative. So it's greater than, if it is less than minus 1, we have already said it here, that if it is less than minus 1, then what happened? It's going to be negative of itself. So it's going to be negative of this one as well, x plus 1. So we are going to have that minus x plus 2 is greater than minus x minus 2. So this and this is out. So I'm going to have that 2 is greater than, 2 is greater than minus 1. Is this true? Is 2 greater than minus 1? Yes, it is true. So the only condition here is this. So therefore, x is an element of, how we write this is that open bracket of negative infinity, comma, minus 1. You open again. Why do we or we write the open bracket like this? Negative infinity, comma, negative 1, like this. So we have this open bracket here, which is something as this, like I taught you in the introduction of real analysis, because there is no equality sign here. And then infinity is that nobody can get to infinity. So that's why we have this, okay? That is for our case 1. Now for case 2, in our case 2, we have that, in our case 2 is here, where we have that x is greater than or equal to minus 1, but less than or equal to 2. So we have that minus 1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 2. So this thing implies that x is greater than or equal to minus 1, and then x is less than 2. That's the implication. So if we do the same thing here, the absolute value of x minus 2 is greater than the absolute value of x plus 1. Now, having this one, what do we have? Now, we say that x is less than 2. And if x is less than 2, then we have it's going to be negative of itself. So we have negative of itself is greater than, if x is greater than or equal to minus 1, it's going to be positive. So if x is greater than or equal to minus 1, it's going to be positive of itself, which is what? X plus 1. So if you have this, we are going to have that minus x plus 2 is greater than what? X plus 1. So we are going to have that that 2, this one coming here, 2 minus 1 is greater than x plus x. So therefore, 1 is greater than 2x. So therefore, which implies, permit me to finish it here, which implies that 2x is less than 1. So therefore, x will now be what? X will now be less than 1 over 2. So x is less than 1 over 2. So to draw the graph of that, so permit me to clean, where do I clean now? Okay, permit me to clean the question so that we can finish it up. Okay, this is equally the question in case. Permit me to clean the question so we finish it up. So we have to combine these two. We have to combine this one here. We have to combine this one here and then this one to see their intersection. So their intersection is what is going to give me the answer. So I'm going to draw my real line. This is my real line. Here is my negative 1. And here is close, let me say that here is my 0. And then here is my, what again do I have? My 2. Okay, sorry, half first. Here is my half before here is my 2. Okay, now for this one is that x is greater than or equal to minus 1. So at minus 1, you shade, the arrow is moving towards this way. So this one should be moving towards this way, for example. Okay, so and this one is that x is less than 2. So on 2, I'm going to have an open bracket and it is moving this way. So we'll move the same way. So on half, I'm having an open bracket again. So, and it is equally moving this way. So it's moving this way. So you will see that what I have here is a closed bracket of minus 1, comma. The intersection is just from here to the minus 1. So, and then an open bracket of half. A closed bracket of minus 1 and an open bracket of half. So for this one, x is an element of, if you combine the two results, if you combine this one and this one, mark that x is an element of a closed bracket of 1, comma, half, and open bracket. Okay? So that is the answer to this particular one. Now, case 3. So let's go to case 3. So for case 3, is that the last part, that x is greater than or equal to 2. If x is greater than or equal to 2, now we consider the question again. The question said absolute value of x minus 2 is greater than absolute value of x plus 1. Now, and I told that if x is greater than or equal to 2, if x is greater than or equal to 2, it's going to be itself. So here is going to be itself, and then greater than. Anything that is greater than 2 must equally be greater than minus 1. So we're using greater than again. So it's going to be itself again, x plus 1. So if x take care of s, I'm going to have that minus 2 is greater than 1. Is this correct? Can minus 2 be greater than 1? No. So this is absurd. So since it's absurd, there is no solution here. So since it's absurd, there is no solution here. So the only solution now is for case 1 and case 2. We have to get the union of case 1 and case 2. So the solution becomes, for case 1, we have minus infinity comma minus 1 union. For case 2 is minus 1 comma half. So if you have this, you see that the union of this is just from here to here. So this is equal to what? Open bracket of negative infinity comma half. You will still open the bracket. So that is the answer to this. So the answer here is that x is an element of open bracket of minus infinity comma half. So that is the solution for the first method. So now for the second method is even the easiest method. So the second method is going to be the easiest method. So can I clean? Permit me to clean here so that I can write the second method. Now for the second method, we have that. Let me refill. 1 minute. Let me refill my mark. So please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, please. Let me refill my marker so that we continue. Okay. So coming to the second method, we know that the absolute value of x squared is the same thing as what? X squared. We know this. So if we have that the absolute value of x minus 2 is greater than the absolute value of x plus 1, so let us square both sides. If I square both sides, I'm going to have that the absolute value of x minus 2 squared is greater than the absolute value of x plus 1 squared. So this is going to be what? X minus 2 squared is greater than x plus 1 squared. Okay, so square this one. I'm going to square the first one, you have x squared. Multiply the first one and the second one, double it, you have minus 4x. Square the last one, I'm going to have plus 4. Okay, is greater than. Square the first one, x squared. Multiply the first one and the second one, double it, I have 2x. Square the last one, I have plus 1. Okay, so if I collect like terms, I'm going to see that this and this is taking care of each other. So I'm having that minus 4x. This one coming here will be minus 2x. Okay, will now be greater than this one moving here, 1 minus 4. So therefore, minus this two will give me 6x. Minus 6x is greater than what? Is greater than minus 3. So multiply both sides by minus to have that 6x, the sign here will change, less than what? 3. Divide both sides by 6 to have that x is less than what? 3 over 6. So therefore, x is less than what? 1 over 2. So how do you represent this? We represent it that x is an element of open bracket of negative infinity, comma, that 1 over 2 open bracket, which is exactly the answer we got for the other one. So they are the same thing. So which method do you prefer? So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. May the peace of the Lord be with you. Bye-bye.